Harvey Stein is a New York photographer whose career spans decades of teaching, publishing, curating, and documenting street life with rare consistency and depth. Stein is the author of 10 books, including Coney Island People, 50 Years, and his work has appeared in publications ranging from The New Yorker to Life magazine and The New York Times. He has taught at the International Center of Photography and the School of Visual Arts. His photographs are held in major museum collections internationally. And in this episode of the Crit House 3 series, Harvey Stein selects 3 images from his archive, each opening a window into a lifetime spent observing people, places, and the enduring rhythms of everyday life. Let's dive in and take a look at the images that you've chosen for this 3 series here on the Crit House. So we're starting off with a Midtown, New York image. This is not an image that I would have recognized as being a Harvey Stein image.
Right. And that's why I like it in some ways. It's different for me. It's a crowd scene. So this is from my book, Briefly Seen New York Street Life. And a third of the book is shot at night around Fifth Avenue with crowds. The idea of the book is me being inside the crowds or in the crowds and shooting with a wide angle lens flash close up the exuberance and the chaos of New York street life, mostly around Christmas time with tons of tourists. And you can see in this photograph how crowded it is. This is called Channel Gardens at Rockefeller Center, and it's a little pathway off of Fifth Avenue where the skating rink, it leads to the skating rink. And I shot there quite a bit. And I don't know, I was in the middle of the crowd, or you can see I was above. Maybe there was a ledge that I got up on and shot. I love the way it's sharp, close to us, and then it just fades into blur and light effects from what I don't know. I don't think, maybe they're lights that are there. It's not, this is 1991, right? I think, yeah. And 96, 1990. So we had cell phones then, but it's not from cell phones. It's not from candles. It's a little mysterious to me. And I love the looming buildings and how it goes from lightness to darkness and then a little light patterns that are streaked, the light streaks, about 70% through the image, up the image from the bottom, and then the building. I don't know. It's just so different. And I think really beautiful. I love the woman, young lady, at the base of the photograph at the bottom, just with her eyes, nose and eyes and hair, not her mouth. I've never done a picture like this, and I don't know exactly how it came about. I mean, I know I shot it, but it's mysterious to me, maybe more so than to the looker, the onlooker. And they're unaware of me except for her. And her eyes are beautiful and right on me, and no one else is looking at me, that was part of the series where I'm just doing the crowds and I'm one of the crowd. Low angle, wide angle, flash, blur, movement, slow shutter with a flash. I love the series and I love the book. It didn't get a lot of attention, the book. I'm not sure why. Not one of my best sellers, but it's a beautiful book, I think.
You know, I have to say now that as you're talking about it, I can't figure out what that is either that's back there. It's such an interesting effect because it's those lights that really make the image, because there's this streak of something that's out there. And
Right.
my assumption when I received this, I didn't look at the date of it, that it was people holding up their cell phones and that like there was some camera movement that happened. But
It was.
no, that's
It was
really
in cell
interesting.
phones in 1996?
Yeah, but not everybody did have them, and they weren't holding them up in the same way. I see no one else has their cell phone here,
It's
so
only in that one area. So it makes
yeah.
me think maybe the lights that are from the scene, but then there's not lights at all in front of that.
You may have experienced some form of a miracle.
Oh, I I love like the black sky and the V that the buildings make looking
Yeah.
back there. I mean, everything. The only figure that I wish maybe weren't there is the guy up front on the left. He's not engaged, but he fills up the scene. So,
Well,
so
Harvey Stein, that's fantastic. I love that. Thanks for sharing and talking about it with us. So, your second image is a few years later from 2001 in Mexico.
yes.
Is this Halloween or Day of the Dead? What are we looking at here?
Day of the Dead. It's in a little small town called Etla. They have a archaeological site there. I did a book that came out in 2018 called Mexico Between Life and Death, and I went there to shoot death and the representation of death, which means skeletons, old age, and it's between life and death. So I look for
Right.
life and death, and not necessarily in one picture. I didn't photograph any dead people, but the representation of that. I think that it's my best book. I would say it's 2018, published by Career. I'm in this little procession for Day of the Dead, and this kid came up to me in a skeleton costume. It's just late in the day. It's not night, but it's late in the day, and I use flash again, and you can see the shadow behind them, and you can see the blur. It flash with slow shutter. I like hi he's really scary, and I look closely at his mask, and it doesn't look like a mask, it looks like clay on his face. His
It
mouth
does.
is really open, and I think that's his real mouth. It feels so realistic, at least that mouth to me. I'm not sure why he's waving that at me. Is he angry with me? Should I not be there? And that intrigues me, and then the whole notion of him being a dead walking skeleton struck me hard. And I love the onlookers and how blurred they are, and I love the movement in the background. Whereas the flash froze him. He's
Yeah.
frozen, really sharp, but it's not sharp, and it's even blurred. I think I probably shot it at a 15th, 30th or a 15th of a second to my camera movement. Not only are they out of focus, but they're blurred, and I like that effect also. It's an effect that I was working to get. I think he's a little scary, and I think, again, it's another unusual photograph for me. I don't shoot
That
much at night, and so I appreciate the ones that are successful. Yeah.
it has a little bit of a feel. I don't mean to draw a direct line, but it has the feel of Deanne Arbus's The Kid with the what are
With
they?
the grenade. The
Yeah,
kid
with
with
the grenade kid.
yeah, in, Central Park. Yeah, except his grenade was down low, and he wasn't in a mask, but you're right, the facial expression, the mouth is similar. You're right.
Yeah, that that direct sort of, confrontational kind of look that you've done. It's a
Well,
very cool.
mostly on the street confrontationally. I call it collaborative confrontationally. Collaborative that I go up to people and speak to them and have them know that I'm gonna photograph them. I don't get their permission, but I say I'd like to, or I'm gonna photograph you, and sometimes they say no, and it's too late because 'cause I've already done it. But usually I get them into a conversation. With a kid like this, obviously I'm not doing that, and I don't know Spanish at all. I mean, very well at all. So I like to be straight on, and that's my I would say if I have a style, that's my style, and close, and wide angle. I use wide angle. All 3 of these are 21 millimeter lenses. I use the 21 95% of the time,
No
even
kidding.
now. I do that to get close and environmental and get a context for where we are. I don't want to be 10 feet away. I'm 3, 4 feet away here, yet I can get a lot in the background, in the environment.
Well, let's take a look at your third image now. This one is on the beach. Is this Coney Island? It
Yeah,
is Coney
this is
Island, and fairly recent in 2021.
I guess it's the most recent. And so this is on the beach. This is August. It's pretty empty. I don't know why. It's hot. And there's a small little area where there's bars and you can exercise. I mean, there's nothing free weights there. It's all built in. And there's a crew of people that come and do the parallel bars and lift themselves and exercise. I saw him, I was maybe 50 feet away and I saw him do this. And I ran up to him and said, "Could you do it again?" And he was so willing to do it. And he just hung there for me. I could have been shooting for 2 or 3 minutes, and I was in
Wow.
awe of his generosity, his ability to stay like that. Oh my God, he's parallel to the earth, about what, 8 feet, 6 to 8 feet above, and just let me shoot away. This is during COVID, probably the height of it. And I was working on my book, Coney Island People, 50 years, from 1970 to 2020. This is 2021. I shot this. I loved the photograph, and I had this, and I called my publisher, who had all of my work for the book. I gave them everything the beginning of 2020, 2021, and they were working on it for a 2022 publication, which is when it came out. I asked them, including the writing, and I asked them, is there still time to put this one photograph shot a year after 2020, in that year? And they obliged. And I put it on it's the second photograph, maybe the first photograph in the book, with an author's note saying why it is in 2021. So that was great. And I see
Because
his
it was
leg,
because it was that good. You had to do that.
because it was
That's
that good, it has to be in there. And I said, if you don't do that, we're not doing the book. I threatened them. "You don't do that. I wouldn't do that." But I saw his legs like pointing to a better future. We were all in trouble and unhappy with the COVID and everyone getting it and a lot of people dying. And I just saw him like an arrow. So this is called the flag. The movement is called the flag. There's actually a word that I learned that they use to explain or describe this. And yeah, it's like a flag. And his feet was that arrow pointing to a better future. I mean, that's my interpretation. I just loved it. I loved, again, the emptiness. I loved his smile. He would just do this for me, a stranger. We didn't talk much before, during, not during, and after. And I loved the lighting, the clouds, the sky was perfect. Everything was perfect. The lighting was perfect. I think it was a gift. I think it was a gift. So this is one of my favorite ever, and one that I wanted to show.
It's nice to have an image that comes along. I mean, you've been shooting for a long time, and it's what fun is it to have an image that comes along that is you love, that it comes so late in. I mean, I know it's 4 years ago from where we're recording this right now, but something that still gives you joy after all this time.
I just thought he was remarkable. I thought I was lucky. He gave me something that I couldn't do on my own, of course. And it's not candid, and I like that also. And he was very happy to do it. And I saw him a few
Well,
times after, and then I lost track of him. The book came out a year later. It came out September 2022, and I can't find him. And I want to give him a book. So that's my goal in life, to get him a book. And
Harvey Stein, wow, three great images from a very long career.
still going strong.
I see that. I see
I,
that.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
you're doing a lot of traveling, doing a lot of teaching. Anything you want to? Is there another book coming your way? Are you in
Yeah.
process of something?
Well, I have 3 books I'm working on. I just submitted a proposal to a publisher. I'm not going to talk about the books yet. it hasn't happened, but I've worked on 3 books that are almost 2 of them are ready to go. 2 of them are ready to go with good stories. One that's shot the last 12 years, and we'll see. I mean, it's hard. We could talk about books. That's another great subject.
Well, if we try, then maybe that'll be the next time we talk.
Yeah,
Well, Harvey Stein, yeah, thanks for coming back on the Crit House. You've been with us a couple of times, and
yeah,
I understand it's possible you may be up in the Boston area over the sometime next year. That'll be fun.
yes. I might do a workshop for the Griffin Museum. I don't want to jinx it, but we're talking. I've done several for them, and I'd like to do another one. And I'd like to be on your next show. So I want to thank you again. Good to see you, and
You
keep track.
always
Enjoy
always
it.
good to see you as well. Thanks, sir. Thanks for joining us, and thank you all for watching the Crit
Right.
House.